Hello YouTubers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Fix It Jim. First things first, I want to apologize for my first episode because quite frankly it was crap. But you gotta understand, it's my first time making a YouTube channel, first time recording myself. I'm just kind of a novice at all this stuff, even though I am a technical person. I'm not really a draw attention to myself kind of person, so this whole thing is new to me, and while nobody's here watching me, it's still just not my first nature. So yeah, you'll have to tolerate my uncomfortableness for a few videos, I'm sure, but I assure you I will get there, and appreciate your patience. In this episode, as I mentioned before, I purchased a PlayStation Portable. I bought this on eBay for $26 shipped. They said it was broken, but they didn't really make it clear what was broken. So they just said that it would turn on and things seemed to work, but it was broken. So I got it, and it had clearly been taken apart because things weren't quite put together correct. So I took it apart, and one of the things that was broken, the Wi-Fi wouldn't turn on, and this down here, they had kind of put it together wrong. But otherwise it seemed to work okay, so took it apart and I cleaned the case up best I could. They had tape all over the back here. Battery's got the white stuff on it, but the battery actually works fine. It charges. Everything seems to work fine other than the Wi-Fi. So when I took it apart, I turned the Wi-Fi button on manually, and it actually worked. So everything seemed to work fine on it. I upgraded the firmware, and yeah, it was fine. Like I said, I loaded a game, and it seems to be in this analog stick here seems to be in a constant state of down. So I think they call that drifting or something like that. I don't know, but we'll just say it's in a constant down state. Don't know if cleaning that will fix it. I will try first using some contact cleaner. I'm going to disassemble it again, because while the case is not too bad, this little strip down here, the start button broke off, and I can still push it just using my fingernail, but that's kind of annoying. And I found on eBay new cases. They were like $7 shipped. Of course, it's from, I think it was China, but I don't care. It'll look new and have all the buttons, and everything is going to look shiny new. So let's take this apart. Knife, Joker knife I got off eBay. Another fun little toy. Why so serious? It's a great scene in the movie, but and this was cheap too. So let's cut this apart and take a look at it. And if I cut myself and make myself bleed, I'll certainly show it. I've done dumber things. There we go. That's different. The back, I'll probably keep this back rather than this clear, cheap plastic back. I like kind of this. This is kind of a durable. I don't know if it's a nice hard plastic. This is, I'm sure it'd be fine to change, but I don't think I'm going to. There'll be a nice new screen on it. This screen, I cleaned it the best I could, but there's still some stuff, and actually I think there's some specks on the inside too. Either I missed, or I don't know, they couldn't get them off because whoever had this apart before, they probably nicked up the inside of it too. But it looks good. Oh, look, and it comes with clear buttons too. I don't know if I like that either. I'm not gonna replace them, but a new set of screws, which is nice. Oh, look, you even get a new they give you a new sticker to replace in your battery chamber, and I guess that's a serial number. It's a full overhaul. I'm not going to use all the parts, but I'll use a lot of them. First, I need to get the button working, or the analog stick working, before I worry about any of this here. So let's get started. Obviously, you want to first take the battery out. Don't want to accidentally go turning it on or shorting anything. This here is just some sticky tape residue left that I'm going to clean that off. I haven't got around to it. Take the memory chip out. Highly suggest buying one of these if you have a PSP. It's an adapter. Well, this one especially, you can use 2 micro SDs in here and double. It actually reads them as one. This one I got off of Amazon for, man, it wasn't expensive. This 128 gigs, I think it was 20 bucks, and this little adapter here was $5, I think. But it works well because this duo memory is very expensive, and they don't come in near 128 gig sizes. I've seen people offering, I don't know, 4 and 8 gigs, and it just doesn't really cut it. So I figure I'll get another 128 gigs and be able to put lots of games on it. So alrighty, let's get started here. Okay, life's always easier with your precision toolkit here. You're going to need a fairly small Phillips. So as always, you want to, oh, that's not even small enough. Let's get a little smaller. I always want to have a tray handy to put your screws in. Magnetic tray is always the best. Stops you from losing things you don't want to lose. Now I've been thinking, how long is too long of a video? Because as we see, these screws on the left sides here, these silver ones, they're a little longer than the ones on the right, so you want to make sure to keep those separate. So anyway, how long is too long of a video on YouTube? I always like in depth, but there is such thing as too long. One of the channels I watch, my mate Vince, he does some hour-long, sometimes they're over an hour, videos, and I actually enjoy them. But I think they should be broken up to give, you know, I guess if you do an hour, maybe break it up half-hour segments. That way you can watch one, and then if you don't want to watch the other half right then, watch it later. Of course you can pause it, but I just think, I don't know, if it maybe 45 minutes. If I get over 45 minutes, I'd probably break it up just to make things a little easier. So next we have some screws down here in the bottom. Ooh, can't reach that with this, a little too big. So we've got a tiny screwdriver for that, and I got these, came with a phone repair kit I got off eBay, or actually I think Amazon, for a couple bucks. They're really not expensive. Tip those over. Oh yeah, silicone mat is very critical when doing this work, especially because I'm going to be at some point doing some soldering. But another big thing, I mean, drop a screw, it helps it not bounce too much away from you. All right, next one we have is under the PlayStation Portable. Like I said, when I got this screw was actually, they put the thing together wrong. I'll show you when I get there what they did. But now we can just lift up on the lid and that whole section comes apart, including the joystick I want to try to fix, or hopefully do something to make it work better, because it doesn't really help me out doing what it's doing. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and now, like I said, I did take this completely apart watching a YouTube video, of course, because I really don't want to like breaking things. It's nice taking things apart if you have to without knowing what you're doing, but if you can watch a video on YouTube, I strongly suggest it. Now, nice thing here, this little guy pops right off, and then it should just fall out in my hand. There's a little plastic washer here, catches lots of gunk. So even though you can see inside, you really can't see what's going on. And it looks like we could take this apart. So I think I'm going to take it apart and take a look. And I know you can buy these things off of eBay and probably Amazon for fairly cheap, but I like to see how they work, and if I can, take it apart and fix it myself. So let's see what happens. May totally destroy it, I don't know. As my opening scene says, I am a hobbyist repairer, and you should not follow my instruction. Ooh, there's some gooey stuff on the back of this after I took that off. It feels like, almost feels like oil. Maybe somebody tried to degunk this themselves. Can't see it. Not sure what that is. Let's see if this will. Oh, there we go. Came right apart. Somebody may have sprayed this with some kind of something to fix it, and that didn't work. I have nothing against contact cleaner. However, it doesn't always work well, and if a switch will come apart, just take it apart and fix it. I mean, if it's too hard to take apart, I understand. You don't want to do that. I had TVs growing up where the volume switch was one of those old style that you turned, and eventually it would just get so bad the volume didn't really work well. So I'm getting a little isopropyl alcohol. The highest percentage I got is 91%. I don't know if they sell 99% here. The higher the better, because there are less water, and alcohol does pretty well. A little dirt off that. It evaporates quick. It's just nice stuff to clean up with. There's still some corrosion on there. I'm gonna actually get some alcohol and put it in a container. I'll be right back. Of course, I can't find a container handy nearby, so I'm going to use a toothbrush. I actually bought a new pack of toothbrushes to use just for this purpose. These were like, I think they were like $1 at Walmart. Why not, you know? So what we'll do is dip this in the alcohol, and we'll just scrub this. Shouldn't take too much. Make it nice and clean. will evaporate very quickly. And we're looking here at the contacts, and it looks like some of them have bent. I don't know if that's from somebody pushing too hard when they were using it. We can see how this kind of works. You move the knob around, it kind of slides those up and down. So we're going to see if we can bend these back without breaking them. They're probably pushed down, and we're pushing on the contacts constantly, which is why we were getting that constant down motion. There we go. Now, I don't know what these should look like, but I'm guessing they should, sorry, can't really zoom in here, but just give you an idea what that looks like. See if that'll focus in. But these two little contacts were kind of bent off to the side. So yeah, I'm going to get a better camera eventually too. This cell phone does not work well for this. I know lots of people use them for this, but for the work I'm going to be doing, showing small pieces, it doesn't seem like it's going to work well. Well, since all this is falling apart, actually looks like this had grease in it. A little grease in it. It probably still does. So we'll go ahead and put this little contact back on here. And put this one back here. And now I know you probably won't be able to see this, but I am moving these little contacts back over here. Okay, so we have these this analog stick here, and we have these little connectors, which the one had the little metal tabs that were kind of smushed down. I don't know if somebody pushed too hard on the controller or was trying to take this apart and failed. It's hard to say, but I straightened the tabs up, and of course now I don't remember which was on top and which was on bottom. Let's see if it, let's see, I think the black one was on the bottom because there's a little groove right there that I think that fits in. So let's see. Put this in there. Yep. There's like, it fits in the I think it fits in the little grooves, because then this, nope, that's wrong. Let's flip it around. It goes like that. And this one I think goes like that, maybe. And it kind of slides on these little rails here. You can't probably see well, but there's like little plastic rails inside there. Excuse me. So I got that all cleaned up. This here is looking pretty good, and put this back here. Ooh, yeah, that's not quite right. This one needs to flip around, because if we see, the little contacts there need to be like that. And then it snaps in. And then we take this and reconnect it like that. Nice little snap. I always like it. Something snaps into place because then you feel like you've got it where it needs to go. And I can see little tabs there, so let's make sure they are in fact. Yeah. I think that looks good. So we'll put the little disc back on. Let's see if the kit came with a new disc, because that one is kind of yellowish, and that would be a good thing to replace if they have one in here. But I don't see one. That's disappointing. That seems like one of the things they would include. Oh well. If I ever decide to put this back on, I will certainly make a video of it, but for now I like the black back. This plastic is a little cheaper, but yeah, I'll definitely use this front part. Now, one thing I had to do when I fixed the Wi-Fi button, I lost this button because, I don't know, when you push the button up on the Wi-Fi connector, it wasn't fully enabling it. It's kind of weird. This one seems very stiff too. I don't know if that would be any good either. I mean, the travel on it is very minimal, so I don't think that would actually engage it either. Yeah, it's kind of yeah, it's kind of rickety. But I mean, what do you expect for $6 arcade? So, but a nice shiny case, that's kind of nice. There's plastic on there to where that's protected. But I think I still like the black buttons better. But here's the part I do need to replace. So before starting putting too many things together, let's go ahead and clean the contacts, because I don't think I thoroughly cleaned them last time. So toothbrush, great thing about alcohol, you can kind of get it all over and give it a little bit of time and it will evaporate down. These little contacts down here that the analog sticks sit on, give them a good scrub and wipe. Ooh. And I did notice these buttons were a little hard to push. So, as we can see, there's stuff coming off. Now, some of it can be from the contact, some of it can be grime. But we'll just wipe it up good here. Yeah, I can't get down in there too well. So, good enough. And we'll go ahead and hit these ones too with the toothbrush. Already gone. Scrub it along. I did see a video once, somebody was working on this here, and this is actually very replaceable. It kind of just goes up here and connects, and looks like it would be very easy to replace the whole thing. This is kind of a weird connection. I don't like it. How this kind of sits here, but I mean, all the buttons work, so I'm not going to worry about it. Prefer if it wasn't so bubbly there. I don't think, like I said, the person taking this apart kind of didn't do a great job. So, got that all done. Let's take another Q-tip. The tip right here. And just go over this screen like so. Hopefully remove any fingerprints or flecks of sand. I have a compressor that I'm eventually going to have in my studio. It's a spare bedroom. Who are we joking? Use the other side to clear the streaks away. Yeah, I know. I need a micro cloth to do this well, but you know, make do with what you have. Anything will be better than what it was. Looks good. All right. So this thing actually was complete when I first started messing with it, and it's just plastic is very flimsy, and as you can see they kind of break these apart so you can push them, and the start apparently broke off when I was doing something. I don't know, I don't remember it breaking off, but they got this sticky piece in the middle, which probably was very hard to take off the first time they took it apart. Ooh, they stapled it. That's secure. And I can't, there we go. I'm just waiting for these buttons to go flying when I open it, because, you know, that's how it goes. And there we go. No sticky in them on this one to hold it in, but I don't think you really need it. Ooh, I should give this a good clean too. Actually, we're gonna do this one just with a normal rag. Hopefully, doesn't have too much lint, but it's all kind of streaky right now, so. Yeah, there's fingerprints on the outside apparently. So, looks pretty good. No dirt. We will put this down where it belongs. Just like that. And looks like it'd be easier just to sit this down. Oh, almost forgot. Huh, gotta put my analog stick back in. Not too difficult. It's weird. Looks like it screws over here easier, so, or not. What's going on here? That's definitely where it sits. Doesn't look right though. What does not look right about this? That's on wrong. That's got to point to this side. Man, I really screwed that up. And this is why I'm not a professional. I don't do this for a living. Well, I do some IT work for a living, but not this. So let's open this guy back up. So it bolts to here upside down, which means that goes out like that. This is going to be laying flat. Okay, so the only one that's wrong is this one here. And then we'll put it here like that. Get that click I like so well. And we do have these little things here on the top, so get that click too. Make sure to scoot this over so it rests properly. These are not. There and there, all clicked together. That's moving well. So put that there. Move this out of the way for now. Oh, look at me touching the inside. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And screwdriver. This used the little bigger bolts to hold that in. There. Ooh. And there. Looks good. So let's get this guy. Ooh. And there went a shoulder button. Those are really easy. This came with new shoulder buttons, but again, there's nothing wrong with these, and I think these ones are probably a little heavier. So oh, I was going to replace this screen, wasn't I? Oh well. Let's see if it works before I worry about that. Oh, I was going to tell you something they did. We'll get to that later. I'm more curious if the button's fixed. Throw that in. Oops. Get that out. Put that on. There's clicking. Put the memory in. There we go. Turn it on. I'm not even sure why I needed the Wi-Fi button, because I don't think anything connecting to this internet really does no good. Powering up. Go to the memory stick. Let's see. Let's try Castlevania. Always a favorite. Hope you guys can see this, because I can't really look at the camera because it's facing down. There we go. Konami, maker of great games. I'm a big fan of theirs. Have been for a long time. Yeah. Start button, nice to have. Start the game. Sure. Ooh, oh, there we go. Well, this doesn't seem to do anything here, so I guess that's not a good test of the functionality. Well, doggone it. Still a little hard to push that left, even with the cleaning. Ah, Kingdom Hearts. That's one I was not able to play because the guy kept just running straight down. There's but the warnings, don't remove the data card while it's saving it. Is that really a problem? I don't get it. So people just go pulling their memory out randomly. Oh, there's no data. Great. Well, that seems to be, but this, I don't know. Not so sure that that's working. It looks like it's just constantly going down still. So, yeah, probably best just to order a new one, because I don't know if those pins were lined up properly, because it looked like they had a very specific place to sit on those contacts. I don't know. I'll have to check and see how much they cost. Oh, come on. At least you can skip scenes. That's more than some games allowed you to do. Never really played these games before. I'm curious to get into them because they look fascinating. A lot of scenes to skip though to get to the action. Ooh, pause. Let's see.
I can't see much from here.
Yep, Murky's walking back. Damn it. Yep, that's no better. Alright, so definitely going to have to order a new analog joystick because that is not going to be a good fix. So, well, worth a try. You know, can't always fix it on the first try, especially when you don't have spare parts in case it doesn't work. So, well, we'll go ahead and go home. That's still sticky too. I'll have to look at that too next time. But not bad for a second video, eh? So I'll look for a spare part, and there'll be a part 2 to this video as soon as I get the part in, and we'll change the front shell over and the analog stick, and hopefully this will be good to go. Now to talk, there will be some of my coming videos. I have many things I enjoy fixing. I do work on cars. I do repairs in my home. Just the other couple weeks ago, I replaced the blower motor in my furnace. That would have been an interesting video. It's the first time I'd ever done that. So, not much to it, but still interesting. I have guns that I will clean and show you how to clean different guns that I own. My cousin brought a couple older guns over that actually needed some repair work, so I was going to see if I can find parts for them online before I get doing too much on here. I have a receiver. There's just, you never know what there is to repair out there. We've kind of become a world of just throw everything away and get a new one, and that's not necessarily the best way because some of this stuff is easy to repair with just minimal effort, but I think we've gotten kind of lazy because stuff has gotten so cheap. But I've always been kind of interested in seeing the insides of things and learning how they work. So, but yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care.